Hello everyone and welcome to this another video of 3ds Max. In this lecture we are going to learn three basic compound objective commands, that is bend, taper and twist. First of all we will look into the bend command. I'll go to create tunnel and I'm going to select the cylinder. I'll create a cylinder and give it some height. On the parameters I'm going to give it a radius of 0.2 meter and height being 1 meter. Okay, for the height segments I'm going to keep it as 20. If you are having 1 or 0 here, well, there will be no 0, but if it is something else you can increase it, because the higher the segments you are going to have, the more refined geometry you are going to see. I'm going to give the cap segment as 60 and side as 20. Okay, so to apply the bend command, you must have to go to this modify panel. Then on the modifier list, press B on the keyboard. It will take you to the bend command. I'll press the B. Now here we are having a bunch of parameters, that is bend, bend axis and the limits. First we will see the bend parameter, and this we are having two options, angle and direction. If I increase this angle, you can see it is bending at that angle. Okay, suppose I give it a 90-degree angle, so it will bend itself at the 90-degree. If I give it 45-degree angle, it will bend at the 45-degree angle. Okay, it is the angle with respect to the base. It is the angle between the start face and the end face. So for this moment I'll give it 90. Then we are having the directions here. You can increase the direction and you can bend it along any other angle. Okay, then onto the bottom of that we are having bend axis, that is along x-axis you can bend it. If you want it to bend it along y-axis you can do that, and for the z we are doing it right now, so it is looking quite good along the z-axis because it's kind of a symmetric. Then we are having here the limits. Okay, I have given it a height of 1 meter, so we can provide the upper limit and the lower limit for the bending restrictions. Suppose I give it a upper limit of 0.3. Okay, or I give it a upper limit of 0.4. You can give it anything. You want to say it, just come to the screen and press F3 for the wireframe override, or you can go from here. There is wireframe override. I'll click here and I'll keep the wireframe override. Onto the limit effect, if I check this limit, I can decrease that amount and increase this amount. You can see the moment I increase it, there's a orange box that is going to shift itself. So wherever I want to restrict the bending, or from wherever I don't want to, I don't want the object to be bent, I can keep that distance. Okay, then I'll off the wireframe override, I'll off the edge faces, then I'll start bending. You can see the object is not bending beyond this box. Okay, so you can change this box, you can give it any length. Okay, let's keep it here, and then we'll start bending. So you can see it is not bending after that box. Okay, so this is the way you can restrict the bending effect. Now you can see along the bend we are having a mark here. If I click it, that bend is having two options, that is gizmo and center. If I click on gizmo, there is a move option here. If it is not by default open, you can press the W on the keyboard to make it enable, or you can click here to make it enable. Now by selecting gizmo, you can shift this thing. The gizmo is like a constraint box for a geometry. If you are going to move it, the geometry will change with itself. Okay, then the other is center. If I click on center, I can move this center here and there. Center is the point beyond which the bending is going to take place. Okay, let's, if I keep it here, then if I increase the angle, you can see the bending will always and always going to take place after that center, not before that center. Okay, if I keep it at the bottom and if I start doing it, it will bend like this. Okay, let me switch off the limit effect. You can change the angle from here. Okay, so these are the basic options for the bending. Now the next we are going to see is the taper modifier. Okay, now for the taper we are going to take a box. Let me draw it a box and I'll give it a height. I'm not concerned with the length, width and height at this moment of time. The only thing that I'm concerned here is with the length, width and height segment. Keep it as 5, 5 and height of a 50. If you want to see the segment, press F4 on the keyboard, or you can go into the default shading and go into the edge faces to see the segments. The more will be the segments, the refined will be our modification. I'll hit key on the modifier and it will take me to the taper command. I'll select the taper command and it is having an amount. If I increase the emitter amount, you can see it is tapering. The tapering means the varying in the cross section. Okay, so the cross section is going to vary. There is a curve. You can give the curve a bulge at the outer side or at the bottom side. Okay, so on the bottom of that, we are having taper axis. We can taper it along the y, x, and z. So at this moment of time, I will go with the z. We are having effects. So what kind of the effect constraint you want? You can constrain it along the xy axis. You can constrain it along the only y axis. You can constrain it along the x axis also. I'll keep it as xy. Okay, so you can increase and decrease the tapering. Now again, we are having the upper limit or lower limit. You can increase the lower limit. If I click the limit effect, and if I increase and decrease it, you can see how the property is going to vary. This is going to work same as that in previous one, that is the bend command. It will work like that same thing. Okay, so you can make and create your own geometries. It is also having an option of gizmo and center here. You can move them and you can see how they are going to work. Okay, so this is as simple as that. Now on to the second, we are going to see the twist modifier. Okay, let me delete it. I'll go to create command, and again I'll go to box, and let me create a box. Give it a segment of your choice. Go to modifier, go to modifier list, and then press TW. It will take you to the twist command. I'll select the twist command and I'll give it an angle. So it will twist it. Okay, it will twist it from the start to the top. You can give it the bias amount. Bias amount with what kind of you can say twist you want. Okay, so you can give it anything, and you can bend it if you want it to be. You can bend it along y-axis, you can bend it along x-axis, you can bend it along the z-axis. For this moment, we are going to stick with the z-axis. We are having upper and lower limit again here, so you can give any upper and lower limit here. I'll select the object. My selection was gone, so I'll check box the limit effect. I'll increase the lower. I can change the upper. Okay, if I go with the upper command, I'll increase this. So you can see there's an orange box. That orange box, that is the constraint box. It is going up and down if when I'm going to change the value. Let me keep it somewhere in the middle, and then if I decrease the twist command or increase the twist command, the beyond that orange box, that twist is not going to happen. Okay, so the limits are going to be used the same way as we have used it in the taper and the bend command. The twist command is also having a gizmo. So if I select the gizmo and if I move it here and there, the geometry will change by that. If I select the center and if I take the center here and there, the geometry will change like that. Okay, so these were the three basics compound objectives, that is bend, taper, and twist, that we have studied till now. Practice yourself and create some more creative drawings by yourself. If you have any doubt, please do drop your questions in the comment below.